All right, hey guys, I am here with Paul from Fat Burners Only. Fat Burners Only is basically our all-round WA Strongman sponsor. You've probably seen their products up and about at our competitions, and now we are starting this new series where we're basically going to be talking you guys through a bunch of supplements that would benefit a lot of the strongman athletes, anybody that wants to get into strongman, currently doing it, whatever it might be. This is all purely educational, informational purposes. So I hope you can take away something. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Paul.
Happy to be here, and I'm happy to educate around all things supplements. There's not a lot of information or education out there, so really happy to be able to give the people the power to decide if that supplement's going to help them with whatever training, and especially strongman. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
No worries.
What products have we got here on the table today?
So just quickly, with Fat Burners Only, we sell every product, not just Fat Burners.
Of course.
So ignore the name, remember the name, ignore the message. So we sell everything now. So what we've got is we walked around the warehouse with Jane and picked 6 products that she believes strongman take already and would really benefit. So the first one that you mentioned was creatine.
Yep, it's the number one thing.
Number one thing. So it's one of the best-selling supplements in the world. It's been tried and tested, clinically proven to work. So a lot of people think that creatine is about water retention and hydraulics. It's not exactly the case. So what creatine does is creatine puts more ATP or adenosine triphosphate in your muscle tissue. So that's its job. As you do heavy to medium muscle contractions, which there's a lot of with strongman, you break this molecule called ATP and it releases energy to allow you to make that movement. So when you have creatine, it jams more ATP in, you're doing heavier reps and doing them more often and more reps at the same time. So creatine is a no-brainer and really a must-have, not just for competing, but while you're training to get heavier weights for strongman. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, I've got a number one question with creatine, because with our athletes, we have a lot of lightweight category athletes, like weight class athletes in our state and across the nation as well. Australia is well known for that.
Sure.
So creatine, obviously there is a whole myth of people saying that it makes you gain weight. Would you really say that it makes you gain weight?
It doesn't make you gain a lot of weight, but as ATP is drawn into muscle tissue, it can hold a little bit more water. So you might gain 1 or 2 kilos from it. If you're close to that mark, you can use the creatine up until you compete to get the strength. And if you're worried about going over, stop creatine for a couple of weeks beforehand, and then that water weight might come down, or will come down. Yeah.
And is it possible to take too much creatine?
It definitely is.
Yeah.
So it's like a sort of an example of training for a marathon. So if you're running 5 kilometers every day, you're going to get fitter. If you run a marathon every day, you're going to break down. It's the same with creatine. If you take the right amount of creatine, it's really healthy for kidneys, etc. If you're taking huge doses of creatine, like 50 grams a day, like Jonah Lomu did, who was a famous New Zealand rugby player, he's now on dialysis. So he took 50 grams of creatine for 8 months and ruined his kidneys. So take it 5 grams to 10 grams a day, not an issue. Always cycle it for about 6 weeks as well, just to make sure. But small doses will help. Overdoing it will hurt. But you can kill yourself with drinking too much water. So everything the right doses.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Okay. Well, what else do we have on the table today that is a number one thing?
So we've got the PC Labs creatine. So the reason we showed that one is because it's 100% pharmaceutical and it's good value. The other PC Labs we have is Glutamine, which is my favourite supplement in the world.
So what would you say are the number one benefits to glutamine?
So there's quite a few, but the major reason people who are training take it is for recovery. You're lifting super heavy things all the time and some crazy movement patterns, and muscles get sore, and you might risk injury. So when you're causing tears in the muscle and the body has to adapt by healing them, glutamine is what's responsible for taking protein and layering protein over the top. So in guys, it can cause some really good growth. In females, it can cause some really good tone, but it's all about recovery. When you're training super hard as well, glutamine is also used up for that recovery and you don't have any left. Glutamine is responsible for building your immune system and regenerating gut lining. So when you do supplement with glutamine, it'll also help your immunity so you won't get sick which is really important leading up to competing.
Of course.
And also help with digestion and gut lining at the same time. So really easy to use. This guy here is 1 teaspoon in every protein shake you have every day.
Perfect.
So if you have 3 of these a day,
Yep.
proteins, you have this 3 times. You have 3 a week, you have it 3 times a week. But in every protein, you should be putting a glutamine in there. And there's not a single person competing in strongman that shouldn't be having glutamine. They should be having it.
No.
The human body wasn't meant to train like that. But it's fantastic because, you know, all you guys have adapted to being absolute units and super strong.
Yeah.
That was not what the human body was designed for, but you've improved it. But the systems of the human body don't produce enough glutamine for recovery of activity of that magnitude.
Yeah, to that caliber.
So
yeah.
you need to be supplementing with glutamine.
So that would actually also be really good then, particularly continuing over post-competition as well, because after a comp you'd be kind of going down, and that's the ultimate time for recovery, right, is post-competition. So if you really capitalize on that, that will actually be really beneficial to your future training and everything as well, right?
This one for you guys should be in every protein shake for the rest of your life.
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And you'll notice the difference straight away. You wake up the next day and you're like, I'm a lot less sore, which means that the you haven't trained any less hard, but the body's muscles have knitted together more effectively. It also stops muscle loss. So, you know, when you're coming into comp and you might be doing all the right things for muscle gain, and then you lose a lot of muscle after training or after the comp, this will stop that muscle loss.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, so on the same, I guess, train for recovery, what else have we got on the table that kind of benefits with that?
So we've got a few things, but the next big one is protein.
Yeah.
So I know you're a big fan of ATP Science.
Yes.
You and Anthony. So we've chosen this one, which is also our best-selling protein.
Yeah.
But we do have every protein here. This is my favourite because a collagen protein elicits the best mTOR response, which is the muscle recovery response.
Okay, yeah.
It also elicits the best AMP-K response, which is a fat loss response. It's the only protein that can cause fat loss and muscle recovery at the same time.
Right.
It's alkalizing to the body, and because it's derived from beef, there's no digestive issues. So it doesn't taste anything like beef, as you know, but it's derived from collagen. It is collagen, so really, really easy on the gut, whereas some whey proteins and even plant proteins can make people feel a little bit off.
Yeah, okay. So with, like, I guess you kind of did cover a little bit of the differences between collagen protein and whey protein, but I guess in conjunction with strongman training and even just competing in strongman, why particular, like with collagen protein, why would you say that this is best recommended?
Well, it's this particular collagen protein as well.
Okay.
So this one here is a German protein called Body Balance.
Okay.
So it's a specific collagen with a specific peptide structure that elicits those 2 recovery responses and fat loss responses, but it also works on fascia. And fascia is largely ignored. We talk about muscles a lot, but the fascia is that white thin coating around muscles.
Yeah.
So important with strongmen. You know, you can see some strongmen have got huge muscles and they're not lifting as much as someone that's smaller. You know, we saw it on the weekend just gone.
Yeah.
Some of the smaller guys were out lifting the big guys on the stones.
That's right, yeah.
That is largely to do with fascial integrity and strength. If you've got really strong and activated fascia, you can lift a lot heavier. You know, you can see these really wiry guys deadlifting 300 kilos.
Yeah.
They don't have the muscle mass, but they've got strong fascia. So this here works with muscles, but it also works with fascia because of its specific collagen peptide structure.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So we're getting a bit more technical,
Yeah.
but this is the protein for strongman.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. And it tastes good too. So
Tastes
can't
really
go wrong.
nice. Yeah, it ticks all the boxes and there's nothing artificial.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. What else have we got on the table here, Paul?
So do you take magnesium at all, Jane? Or?
I do.
Yep.
Not as much as I should, but I do, yes.
So it's really easy to put it in your regime to have it before bed every night because it will also help you sleep. But the way that it works, and it's not overly hard to understand, but let's pretend we've got a calf muscle.
Yep.
Calcium ions flood into the tendons and cause them to contract. When their calf muscle is fat and contracted, it's magnesium that's responsible for then going in, breaking the bonds with the calcium in the tendon synapses and causing that calf muscle to relax. We typically have enough calcium, so we can always get tight muscles, but the magnesium we don't have enough of, which means that it can build up and build up and build up with the calcium and causes a cramp. So if anyone out there is ever cramping, it's a surefire sign that you're definitely magnesium deficient and you need to supplement with magnesium, there's no question. But also if you're not cramping but have tight muscles that might be a little bit imbalanced, magnesium can go in, relax the muscles, help you get into a deep sleep, as well as 80 plus other human functions in the body. But really important for recovery to put this in, and best to have before bed.
Perfect. And would you say that it's kind of like similar to creatine, right? It's not an overnight thing. It's about being consistent to be able to get the best results, right?
100%. So if you're cramping, get some magnesium in straight away, and that can work straight away. But for generalized tight muscles causing an increased chance of injury, magnesium, the right dose, you don't have to overdo it, but every night will make a big difference to recovery.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so I guess let's try going on the other side of training, and it's all about amping yourself up pre-workout, pre-comp. Obviously, people have their different ways. So, what have we got on the table for that?
So, there's thousands of pre-workouts out there. You've heard of C4, or you might have heard of No Explode or something. Our best seller is Altered State because it's very versatile. It's either strong with 1 scoop, medium level with 1 scoop, very strong with 2 scoops, tastes good. But pre-workouts are there for a reason. They genuinely do work. Some people say, I don't need a pre-workout, and if you're training hard without it, that's great. But the science shows that you will genuinely train harder and more effectively and get a better recovery when you use a pre-workout. So without going too much in the science, because we can take half an hour on a pre-workout here, generally what they'll do is they'll open up blood vessels, causing the pump. If you've got bigger pipes, you've got more oxygen, nutrient, and glucose delivery to the muscles. Great state to lift heavy things in, especially for strongman. So bigger pipes in the body. It also has ingredients to strip lactic acid. So as you're lifting the stone over the bar for the 10th time, that lactic acid is really building. And that's a major rate limiting factor on why you can't do the 11th rep, is that lactic acid. This will actually take lactic acid out of the muscle tissue with an ingredient called beta-alanine. Plus caffeine in there will activate the central nervous system and give you energy with other stimulants, and also reduce pain. So caffeine reduces pain. So if you've got bigger pipes, stripping lactic acid, less pain and more energy, it's great to train in. You're going to train harder and adapt more, so you'll be able to lift heavier on comp day. Or take an on comp day, you're going to do a lot better.
Well, that's great. So with pre-workouts, obviously there are non-stim pre-workouts out there, and I'm sure you guys have some on your shelves as well.
Heaps,
So what would you say, do you reckon that's also just as good as just normal pre-workout?
If you're training late at night, you don't want caffeine because it might keep you awake, or if you're just plain caffeine adverse, you can get pre-workouts that are stimulant-free. So it's exactly the same as this, just having the caffeine removed. Even pre-workouts that will get your focus up, but won't activate the central nervous system with caffeine. So you can still get that focus and that sort of that tunnel vision, but still be able to sleep half an hour later. So if you know what you want, there's heaps of pre-workouts out there that we can find to suit you. So there's one called Legit Edge. Still got the beta-alanine in there to strip lactic acid, great for pump, and it's got some focus ingredients, just no caffeine. So that's a perfect stim-free pre for a strongman.
Awesome, because obviously with strongman training, it can, and as you know how strongman competition goes, strongman comp can go for like 8-9 hours during the day, and then on top of that as well, with our training, it can last up to like 3 hours. So obviously,
you have big gaps in between.
Exactly right. So being able to keep yourself alert, keep yourself going during those comp days or training days. Would you say that pre-workout can last, or what would you kind of recommend like during a comp day or a long session as well to keep you going?
So you've got new pre-workouts with slow releasing caffeine.
Okay.
So it'll still give you that initial sort of wake up, but it will prolong in the system, and you can get 8 hours worth of energy. Wow. So if you time it right, by the end of the long competition, it's just wearing off at the end, so you can still sleep that night and get a really good recovery. So things like caffeine dimalate, 8 hours, Zoom XR, 8 hours, and these are all natural or synthetic caffeine sources that are designed to last for that longer period.
Amazing.
Or you could have something like this to start with, and then the second dose is the stim-free one with the focus. So it'll keep it going, and we can get really scientific, but some of the stim-free ones will actually prolong the caffeine that you had before. So
Oh, wow.
you can still get the benefit of this without having caffeine a second time with a stim-free pre.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of getting me to a point. I'm thinking more for content for the future, and if people want to see it, is actually being able to strategize your supplements for comp day, because I think that actually would be really really good, because we get a lot of questions asking about how what they should be eating during comp day, you know, whether pre-workout's a good idea because sometimes it can make them go to the toilet, you know, things like that. So it might be really good to be able to get some of that information off of you and see how athletes can capitalize on that.
We had quite a few athletes going to our stores when we owned them a while ago, and they always said that the right supplement protocol would see them perform better on the day. Yeah.
There you go.
So we even had guys that were sort of sitting around the middle of the pack that would start winning everything when we got them the right supplements. So we can always guide them on supplement day or on comp day what supplements to take, but also during training leading up to comp day.
That's awesome. Like, you guys have the information here, so it's just about really just putting it out there and getting them to come in here or having a chat with you guys to see what would suit them best, right?
Exactly. So if they can't come in, they can always give us a call, or they can just send us an email. We can actually write it all down for them. Whatever's easy for them. But we're located in Burswood, and we're right near the city, so
super
it's easy
central.
to come in. Super central. People don't think we're open to the public because we're an online store, but you can come in. And as you know, we're the biggest warehouse in Western Australia.
It is massive.
So we've got anything you can think of, we have.
Yeah, that's great. And then strongman athletes, they can all they've all got we've got a discount with WA Strongman,
yes,
so
that's right.
10% off with the discount code Strongman, and you get store-wide discounts on top of that, little bonuses throughout the year, and also free express shipping.
And so if we ever have a bigger sale, we sort of put it up automatically. You don't even have to ask. So sometimes we might do a 20% off sale, and Strongman gets a 20% discount. As well as, like you said, free gifts, etc. And that's on all the time. So minimum 10%, and our prices are already the cheapest in Australia. So it's not like we've hoiked them up and then discount. We're already the cheapest, and then they're getting them even cheaper.
That's awesome. And that's the great thing about being a local business and down to earth and understanding everybody's needs and what they actually are, and having the knowledge for that as well. Because, you know, you can go to some of the other supplement stores and feel a little bit intimidated going in, right? Especially if it's your first time and you don't know what's going on. But if you've got somebody there that's local and is able to actually help you out face to face, as well as just even over email or phone call, it just makes people feel so much more comforted and feel like they're actually being taken care of.
Well, all our guys are highly trained, and you know, it's hard to get that education, as I mentioned at the start. So you can sometimes go into a supplement store and they won't have any clue about any of these products. You know? And you don't leave with a lot of confidence that it's going to work. At least when you're dealing with us, we don't have a bias on what products to sell. We'll sell you the best product for exactly what you want, with a lot of high-level training, so you'll get the result.
That's amazing. Awesome. Have we missed anything else out on here?
We've got one other product that you actually mentioned as well, a greens product.
That's
right. Can I ask you why you chose a greens product?
Look, Strongman, it's all about the diet, nutrition. Sometimes it's not the best nutrition, and then other times it can be really on point, but it's, you know, being very sport specific. Your diet is super important, but sometimes you don't always get the whole, sometimes you don't always get all the nutrients that you need. So at least I can say for my Strongman athletes and Anthony's Strongman athletes, and a lot of them as well that have currently been around for a while, greens has always been a staple that allows, just better gut health and allows them to actually process what they consume a lot easier. So
and this one's perfect for that. So the switch one we've chosen, Vitality Switch, has the equivalent of 8 fruit and veggies. So it really is ticking all the boxes of nutrition for you if you haven't had a great day. So the foods are all natural, lots of natural vitamins and minerals in there. It's got a gut health blend. It's got a digestive blend. There's an enzyme for digestion as well, as a mushroom blend for focus and immunity, etc. So this, we like to say at Fat Burners Only, is the healthiest product in our shop. So the girls love it as well, because typically greens products can taste a bit gnarly.
This
is amazing tasting, all natural, no artificial colours, flavours or sweeteners. And it's, like I said, probably the healthiest product we have. And if you've sort of not had the best diet for the day or even just in general, this can fill in those gaps to get all those correct chemical reactions in the body occurring for that recovery and energy levels.
Yeah, that's great. Because, on top of that as well, a lot of our athletes, they have to, especially coming into competitions, particularly for the heavyweights, they're actually encouraged to eat more. So when you're encouraged to eat so much more food in your training, especially in the peak of it, and you physically can't fit any more food volume-wise, it's another great way to actually consume the right nutrients, right?
You're getting the nutrients in a concentrated form.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah. So we can't get the calories in there, but we can get the nutrients.
Yeah. At least we have that. There's at least a minimum there.
That's right.
All right. Well, I think that's everything,
That's
Paul,
all
right?
6 of them, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Well, I guess we'll wrap things up. Yeah.
Sure, yeah,
All right.
no worries. Thanks so much, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can see you and help you soon.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we'll keep having these series. So what we'll do is we'll keep asking people on the regular, or you can comment in our posts with Fat Burners Only about any questions, any topics that you might have. Go ahead and follow them on Instagram as well. FBO Supps is the...
FBO Supps, isn't it?
Yeah, FBO Supps.
FBO Supps.
On Instagram. They also have an incredible website that will show you everything that you need. They always have something going on, like some sort of sale or something like that as well. So definitely head over to their website, which is...
fatburnersonly.com.au. Yeah.
Nice and simple.
Easy.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so
Okay,
much for
all right,
coming
no
on, Paul,
Shane.
and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Perfect.
Thanks. Cheers, guys.
Bye.